AMEB Violin 4th grade. I'm going to take you through all the technical requirements for the 4th grade exam. Don't forget, if you are doing your exam, all the scales and arpeggios do need to be performed from memory. So don't forget about that, and really you have to do a lot of practice to get them inside your head and in your fingers ready to perform. I'm going to start off with the three octave scales, starting with G major. I'll play détaché and then legato bowing straight afterwards, and then I'll go on to the next scale. So starting with G major. 1, 2, 3, 4. G melodic minor, 1, 2, 3, 4. G harmonic minor, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now let's do the arpeggios for the 3 octave scales. So we start with minor and then go to major, and it's détaché and then legato bowing. Tempo is 140. I'm going to take that to 120, which is the equivalent, but it just means that we have 1 beat per note instead of 1 beat every 3 notes. 1 and 2 and Now legato slurs, 3 to a bow. 1, 2, 3. Make sure you get your bowing really nice and smooth, especially across the strings. And also a good thing for all scales and arpeggios is to just do a slight crescendo when you're ascending the scale, and then a slight decrescendo when you're descending the scale. Next we have 2 octave scales, so we're starting with the A flat major. I'll be playing legato 8 to a bow, and then the hook stroke, which starts at the tip going up bow. And then we'll change to spiccato, which is 126, and it does need to be a little bit faster so that you get that bounce, otherwise it's not possible. A flat major, 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you're playing legato 8 to a bow and you start on first finger, then your bow change will always be on the first finger. So 1, 1, 1. Next, let's do hook stroke. So starting right at the tip, 1, 2, 3, 4. let's do the 2-octave arpeggios with the bowing détaché and legato slurs 3 to a bow. The tempo is 108. So let's begin. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. So let's begin. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's go to E major, legato slurs and then hook stroke. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hook stroke, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now let's go to E melodic minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now hook stroke. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now let's do E harmonic minor, legato slurs, 8 to a bow. 1, 2, 3, 4. And hook stroke. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we have spiccato bowing. Sorry I didn't do spiccato for each of those scales, but I thought it'll be easier if I just changed the metronome once and then play through them all. Spiccato bowing, it's basically bouncing on the bow. Nice and even. So there's two ways to go about this. The first way is being able to play 126. Being able to play 126 quavers. So first of all, if we're playing A flat major, you should be able to do this on the string. That's the horizontal stroke. Now spiccato is the vertical. You should also be able to bounce 4 times like that as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Once you can do that, then you should be able to do spiccato. The last thing before you do that is make sure you've got your bow on the string at the balance point. So if you haven't heard of this before, the bow has a balance point and it's fairly low down. And you'll find this is the best place to start for spiccato. It might change when you actually put the bow on, but this is the balance point. So you're going to get a nice even bow stroke if you put your bow on the string there. Okay, so let's try that. Here it is. So if you can do the bouncing and the horizontal, then all you need to do is kind of join them together. So if I start like vertical, like bouncing, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then gently just start going side to side. And then you can adjust the size of the bounce so you can get a nice gentler sound instead of a percussive sound. So again, just it's 1 and the bounce, and then just start to go side to side. So that's a little lesson on spiccato. Let's go through all the scales now. The tempo is 126. 1, 2, 3, 4. And notice how high my elbow is. It's almost horizontal to my wrist. So if you keep your elbow up, that's going to stop your arm from putting pressure on the bow, enabling it to bounce freely. The other thing is you need to keep your violin still. So don't try and get your violin into the movement of spiccato. It's all here. It's all here in the wrist and the fingers and the arm. It's just very light. It's just about setting up the conditions for your bow to bounce and then for it to continue in a nice even speed. Now let's do E major. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now E melodic minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. E harmonic minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you should be able to play spiccato all day. If you can't do it for 2 minutes, then you're doing it wrong. So you've really got to set up your technique so that it's just really easy and really flexible and you're not tense. The next arpeggio is the E set. I call it the E set because it's E minor, E major, and then there's inversions of A major and A minor. So it's 4 arpeggios all together, and there's a lot more of this in 5th grade, so lots of fun coming up for you. And again, tempo 108, 1 note to a beat, and then legato slurs 3 to a note. So let's go. 1, 2, 3. I should find my note. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. And now let's do legato slurs 3 to a bow. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. Next we have diminished and dominant arpeggios and chromatic scale. The tempo is 84. I don't have the time to go into the theory of this, but it's really good if you can go and do a bit of research and learn what a diminished arpeggio is and what dominant means and things like that. So that'll be really good so that you can understand the theory behind these. So starting on G, tempo 84. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now let's do the chromatic scale on G. It's a little bit slower, 72, however, it is quavers. So there are alternate bowings. Probably best to do the one that is printed, not the one that's in brackets, but you can try both. It's a good idea. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, nice smooth bowing, string crossing, nice smooth shifts for all the fingers that are shifting from one position to the next. Chromatic scales do take a bit to get your head around, so spend time on these because they are important and they only get faster and higher in 5th grade. Technical exercises. The first exercise is about shifting up to 4th position. There's 3 tips which I want to give you to help you with really good shifting. The first is to have a really light touch in the left hand with your fingers, almost like a harmonic. So just experiment with how much you need to press the finger down for the string to make a solid sound. So somewhere between a harmonic and a solid note. That keeps your fingers really light. Another tip would be to do almost like a vibrato, so that will also keep your fingers very light. And also for the accuracy of shifting, you need to look at your fingers. So you've all heard about hand-eye coordination. So if you simply look at your fingers, your brain will subconsciously tell your fingers what you want them to do. So it's amazing how much it helps just by looking. You're not actually consciously thinking about it, but your eyes are telling your fingers what to do. So let's begin exercise 1 at tempo 84. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exercise B is preparation for 1-string scales and arpeggios. The tempo is 88 and there's a dotted rhythm, so be aware of that. 1, 2, 1, 2. And it's really important to look at your fingers once again. So there's a lot of finger swapping going on here. So you can use your 4th finger as a guide and then swap it for 1. So using other fingers as guides is a really good idea. Exercise C is an exercise which prepares you for playing double stops, and those double stops are thirds. The tempo is 80. Just be aware that the number, so number 1 with the line that goes across, means that you've got to hold that first finger down for the duration of that line for those notes. And the same for the other fingers, third finger as well there. So tempo 80. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exercise D is another preparatory exercise for double stops. This time it's in sixths. The tempo again is 88. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, have really light fingers there on the fingerboard, and keep all your fingers down for those broken octaves there. Keep your fingers down as you're shifting up into second and third position. Exercise E. Exercise E for legato and vibrato. So vibrato's got to be really nice and even. It's good to use the metronome to just try and keep that really even rhythm going throughout your practice. The tempo is 108. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that might seem a bit fast for a lot of people. So take it down to 80 and just work on that vibrato. It's got to be really nice and even. So put a metronome on and just evenly play that vibrato. Vibrato is a whole nother lesson, which I don't want to go into. A lot of people do it differently. Exercise F, bowing variations. So we've got martelé, exercise F is an exercise for martelé and spiccato. The bowing is 69. One, 2, 3, 4. So there we have it, all the scales, arpeggios and technical exercises for 4th grade. I hope you found it helpful. If you've got any questions, please post them down below and I'll be really happy to help out. Good luck with your exams, and don't forget there is a 5th grade video already online, so check that out once you've passed 4th grade. Violin Virtuosos with Rodney and Anthea Wickstrom. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel for all strings related education videos. Visit our website violinvirtuosos.com.au and like our Violin Virtuosos Facebook page.